The 4-4-2 is one of the most balanced formations to use on FC24. Custom tactics work like this: 44 defensive width, 71 depth, build-up play we go balanced, chance creation is direct passing, width is 40, your players in box is 6, and our player instructions work like this: right striker on stay forward, getting behind, your left striker on stay forward, left mid and right mid both on balanced, both centre mids on stay back while attacking cover centre, left back and right back on stay back. Now, time to talk through the team and each role that every player has in the squad. Our right striker needs to be the player that you want breaking in behind. So this would be the pacey striker, someone who has physical strength about them. Players like Kolo Muani, Rashford, Gabriel Jesus, and Leao are decent examples. Our left striker is the player that we want to be playing the passes in behind should the chances arise. So these players need to have better passing stats. I use Rashford in this role only because Kolo Muani isn't that great at passing. Rashford's not great either, but he'll do. The left mid and right mid, you want to try and have someone that has decent pace, crossing, passing, shooting, and skill moves, which those are quite a few requirements. So at this stage of the game, we can't be too picky. But if they have the whip pass straight, that is definitely a decent bonus. Hemp, Rodrigo, Dembele, and all those sort of players suit well. For your centre mids, you want one with high work rate. This would be your box-to-box midfielder. The one that you want to threaten a little bit from range with a power shot, finesse, or trivela. And they do need to have good passing. Just overall, a well-rounded card. But the other centre mid would be someone that's more defensive-minded, preferably with medium-high work rates. So think of players like Tchouameni, Kante, and Tonali. Now, let's show you some examples of how this formation plays in-game. So we're going to show you how we want to defend in the 4-4-2. The 4-4-2 is arguably one of the easiest formations to defend with, purely because it's 2 banks of 4 and you can bring your strikers back to help you out as well in the defensive area. You can see how I just have this quick switch here as Reece James has stepped up in that second man press for me to try and cover off any passing lanes, apply pressure to the ball holder, and just overall give an extra player there in that. You can see how we're making it really compact and really difficult to break down. Now, we do run 44 width in the defense, as we spoke about, and this means that basically when the ball is on this half of the pitch, so let's call this half number 1, half number 2, which would be down here at the bottom on the mini map there, we're not going to have many players. They're all going to be congested up here in half number 1, all right, on this top side of the pitch, meaning the opponent will really struggle to play in and around here, but they will be able to switch the ball out onto the opposite side. We are also running the 71 depth. Now, the 71 depth means that we get the auto offside trap, which was in the game last year, and it means that basically your defense isn't going to drop as deep when the opponent's on direct passing, but it also means this year, because of the way that 45 depth and higher gives you an auto press, you also get that benefit as well. I tested this out because the community were using it and I was like, hey, let's see how good it is. And it's super effective to keep that high line and you don't have any stamina drain. So if you feel that you want to run this to really be aggressive, you can do. Do take into account that, yes, it does mean that, you know, your players are going to be more aggressive. You are going to have more of a press. So if you aren't liking that, then obviously you can lower the depth should you need to. But you can see here, really compact, really difficult for the opponent to play through. Once that ball gets into the 18-yard box, we're trying to not be too panicky. We're just trying to stand up in the defensive scenarios, using that jockey button and just being as calm. Second man press in there as and well you can. We're switching as accurate as we can. We're standing up, get that block, ball comes in. Okay, where would the logical play to be? Let's move up into there, cover off that, and then obviously if he tries to drive, we can then use our left back as well should we need to. So a really, really good defensive example of how we can defend in the 4-4-2. So every time I make a 4-4-2 video, this is something that I always talk about that I really need you to kind of take into account. We want to try and work up and down across the pitch. A zigzag is how I like to explain it. The 4-4-2 works so well in that area. Yes, you can link up with 1-2s and with triangles, but that is one of the core attacking ways to move the ball in the 4-4-2. Camavinga picks the ball up, a little ball roll to evade the press. Now the opponent's right back is out of position. We can just see how he stepped up. He's been aggressive. And we now have a situation where that's the 3 defenders in a 4-back. Marquinhos is going to come over. That Varane would then come over. And then the left back would come over as well. What does that mean? It means the player that we have at the top of the screen, the right mid, is going to be completely free. So let's start to work towards that. We go one over. Yes, we get a little bit lucky with that. And then there is the Madison, our right mid, just available to then get our shot in. So you can see already how it's starting to play out in the attack. And to reiterate this example, we put the ball up in the middle. Kolo Muani, we see the run coming in behind from Rodrigo. Pacey, good passing. De Bruyne, one more over. Madison's there, a fantastic finish. So another big bit of encouragement that I give you in the 4-4-2 is that when you hit the ball up in the midfield with your centre mids, spread the play out to the fullbacks and look to them build up from there. So the fullback is always going to kind of be the free person for you to play to. Obviously, it depends on what the opponent's playing and how it's going to look up, right? But we have so much width available from those fullbacks. We can then drive forward, trigger the runners in front of you with Rodrigo, and then should we be able to find our way into the middle of the pitch, we can do. And it's just a very, very quick and easy sort of transition. It's nothing too aggressive. I think the big thing here that I want you to take away is that if you keep an eye on my left bumper, so this is L1 on PlayStation, this is LB on Xbox, your left bumper. And what we're doing as we're about to pick the ball up with Camavinga, this is almost just instinct now. We're tapping that L1 button in the direction of Rodrigo, and that's going to tell Rodrigo to run in behind. So although the left mid and right mid are unbalanced, on situations, if I want them to go in behind, I'm going to trigger them to go in behind. If I want them to come short, I'll trigger them to come short by tapping the R1 button instead. Tactics are tactics. They can only do so much. We need to try and use things ourselves in areas by triggering runs, by going for creative runs, player locks, and you name it. Now, the opponent steps up with a fullback. I've spoke to you about this in the defending video. You step up with a fullback, you make a mistake, bang, the opponent can punish. And that is what we do here. We just see Rodrigo get into that area. And then what did I speak about earlier on? Working it up and down across the pitch, looking for that zigzag, starting at the bottom, working it up to the top. If we get into this area and we don't find that we have a shooting angle or whatever, that's fine. We can go one more and then we can just come back and keep recycling and go up and down. But a brilliant finish from Rashford. Another one again where we start the ball out on the left-hand side with Camavinga. Our fullback, Rodrigo, picking that up. What can we do here? Can we recycle? Can we take the fullback on? Can we go back into the into our fullback? Yes, we can. And then we'll fake the pass into the middle. Kolo Muani all the way to the byline. You can just see how this 4-4-2 links up with one another and how it operates. The ball that I really like at the minute in the 4-4-2 in almost any formations that you want to be playing with is that we don't always have to work it down towards the line in the byline. We can go into the middle and then assess from there. We might be able to turn. We might be able to then controlled sprint. We might go in towards the byline. The idea here is that we want to try and get into an area where we're in between the midfield and the defense. If you can find these pocket of space with your strikers, it's going to open up so many opportunities. Kolo Muani picks that up. Rodrigo drives into the byline. Welcome to FC 24, where you're going to score that goal time and time again. So we know how to use the 4-4-2. Click this video right here before you play your first FUT Champs games this weekend, because this is going to help you.